Carly Novell, a senior, survived the shooting rampage at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School by hiding in a closet with her classmates. She joins me now, along with her mother, Mary Novell. I appreciate you guys joining us. How are you doing tonight, Carly?
I'm doing okay. It's kind of hard right now, but I'm doing the best I can.
We can only imagine. You say, well, talk to me about that. You say it's kind of hard. Tell our viewers what you mean.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard because I don't really know how to feel. This isn't something that's normal, and it shouldn't be normal. And so I at first I was kind of in shock, and it's been going on and off. Like, I at some points I feel numb, and other points I'm like feeling everything. So it's just a lot right now.
Yeah. Well, listen, I have to tell you that when you said that, because I have recently lost someone I love, and you don't know how to feel, you really don't know what to do. You're sort of just going through the motions, not really knowing, right? Most things you sort of know, like, okay, I have to do this now, I've got to do this now, I should react this way or whatever, I can contain my emotions. But when something like this happens, when it's so sudden, you just don't know. But you know, you have caught the attention of a lot of people in the wake of this shooting. What do you want everyone to know, Carly?
I just want people to stop like talking about it and then not doing anything. People keep like saying your thoughts and prayers and all these things, but it doesn't make a difference if nothing ever changes. Like, this happens over and over again, and people are dying, and it seems like it doesn't matter, because like, what are thoughts and prayers gonna do when people are already dead?
That is very profound. But you know, Carla, when people hear you say that, they'll say, well, you're demeaning thoughts and prayers. And not at all. What you're saying is thoughts and prayers are important. I don't want to put words in your mouth. But action is more important to prevent this from happening again. Am I correct or no?
Yeah. And I think you can do both at the same time. You can talk about what needs to change, and you can also be mourning the victims. Like, it doesn't have to be one or the other. And it shouldn't be one or the other. We should be talking about all of this.
You responded to a conservative pundit, is it Tomi Lahren? Tomi Lahren on Twitter?
Yeah.
She tweeted this. She said, can the left let the families grieve for even 24 hours before they push their anti-gun and anti-gun owner agenda? My goodness, this isn't about a gun. It's about another lunatic. #Florida shooting. And then you responded, you said, I was hiding in a closet for 2 hours. It was about guns. You weren't there. You don't know how it felt. Guns give these disgusting people the ability to kill other human beings. This is about guns, and this is about all the people who had their life abruptly ended because of guns. That was a very brave message. Why did you decide to even respond?
I don't know. I like had just woken up, and I think I just was like really upset, and I just needed to say something. Like, I think it's different when you hear it from someone who was there, and I hope it like impacted people more, just because like it was so heartbreaking to like hear what was happening from people on the outside, and we didn't know what was going on. But like, while we were in there, we were all still talking about gun control and how something needs to change. Like, we were in a closet and we were still thinking about this. It matters all the time. Like, there's no like waiting period. It's happening at every period during this time, because this is what needs to change.
I read things like that, and I often sometimes just ignore them. I want to respond, and I just ignore them. But I think if anyone has a right to respond, it's you, Carly. And I just think, like, the gall or the nerve of someone to respond like that, and just not just despite the ignorance, but why would she even write something like that? Do you understand what I'm saying? Why would people even go to social media for negativity instead of positivity?
I think that woman in general, she likes to like kind of provoke people, and I guess she provoked me a little bit, but like, I just had to say something.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people now are spreading positivity. There's people in my messages like saying I inspired them and stuff, but it didn't feel like something that was inspiring. It's just something that happened to me, and it's happening to everyone.
Well, you see, the worst comes out, and you see who the real opportunists are when people do that. Obviously, it was to promote her career or her Twitter or social media, whatever. So she decided to say something that was controversial without thinking something stupid. Mary, I want to bring you in. Now, sadly, by CNN's count, this is the 8th school shooting in America just this year. I know there's a number out there saying 18, but that number is not factually correct. 8 this year. There were 48 in 2017. Were you worried this might happen at your daughter's school? Does that ever cross your mind?
I've always been worried that it would happen at schools, at our school, at any school across the country. My father had gone through a tragedy, the first mass murder in the country, and he was hiding in a closet. And he sort of raised me with sort of having my eyes behind my head and looking around at my surroundings. And I always had in the back of my head just praying that nothing would happen to our school and our community. And unfortunately it has, and my heart goes out to all the victims and all the family members and our whole community that's suffering right now. But I think most importantly, we have to look at the bigger picture. This keeps happening over and over again. It started all the way back in 1949, and nothing has really changed because the gun laws haven't changed. And these people might be mentally ill, but they still have a gun in their hand, and that's what's killing the people.
That's the mode and the method. And just to be clear for our audience, your father passed away in 2009, which is Carly's grandfather. He had to hide from a mass shooter almost 70 years ago when his family was killed in 1949. You say, Mary, that you witnessed your father's pain years later, and it even affected you as a child, and you'd even practice hiding.
Yes. When I was younger, when I was a child, we often had, on the yearly anniversary of the murders, the press would come by, and at the time my father did not want to ever talk to any press. It wasn't until I was in middle school when they dropped all the indictments against Howard Unruh that he decided to speak out about the situation. And so I was actually scared of the press. I thought the press were the bad guys, and I would practice hiding because I knew that they were coming, and I would try and smush myself into a little ball, and then I would think about places I could hide. Even recently we were at the airport, and something was happening at the airport, and the police were running and scrambling at the Fort Lauderdale airport after that shooting. And my first initial reaction was, where can I hide? Where can I go? I saw a cabinet. We were by baggage claim, and my husband was going to get the bags, and he was acting like it was a normal day, and I was just watching all of the police officers running, and that's where my head went. Where can I go and hide? And we just recently, I work for Broward County Schools, and I'm a teacher for the elementary school in Coral Springs, one of them, and we just had the active shooting training at our school, and I want to say that our BSO has done an amazing job in preparing the staff and keeping us prepared for these horrible situations. And we really shouldn't have to be prepared for these situations. We shouldn't have to hide in a closet. We shouldn't have to hide. Our kids shouldn't be scared to go to school. Anywhere in this country, they should feel safe.
Yeah. Do you think that because for a while there, I'm sure both of you were in shock. Do you think it's really settled in? Because I can see, especially Mary, that you're upset by this. Has it really sunk in yet?
I think we're kind of walking around in a state of shock.
Yeah, it's like, it's on and off. I don't really feel everything yet. I don't know if anyone does, because it's so much that has happened. And it's just kind of hard to comprehend that, like, this happened at my school, like right over there. It's not like, in another state. It's down the street from my house. It's where I was here yesterday. It's hard to think about, and it hasn't set in.
I think the pain for the people that lost their lives is palpable. We're all feeling this grief. And I think if you go anywhere in our town, everybody's sort of walking around with the same sort of look in their eyes and in their faces. It's just tragic, and it just needs to stop.
So Carly, I understand that you're headed to college next year, and I understand you want to be a journalist.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, I do.
This will have a lasting impression on you throughout your life and career.
Yeah, it's weird to think how this has been a life-changing experience for me, and like that yesterday going to school, I didn't think anything would be any different. Like it was Valentine's Day, like and then it was just the worst day ever. Like there's no other way to put it. And now like my whole life is different. This whole town is different. It's just crazy.
Well, you're both very brave, and all I have to say to us, Carly, both of you, but especially Carly, there's no right or wrong way to react or act, and just take care of yourself and hold on to your family. Thank you so much, and we're so sorry that this happened at your school.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.